International Center for the Rapprochement of Cultures under the auspices of UNESCO in Almaty. The establishment of the center in Almaty under the auspices of UNESCO was approved by the General Conference of UNESCO at its 39th session dated November 9, 2017. Conceptually, the activity of the center is based on conviction that the culture is above all the knowledge. The knowledge is necessary for the evolution of cultures. The evolution of cultures is necessary for their rapprochement. The main objective of the International Center for the Rapprochement of Cultures under the auspices of UNESCO is to promote the rapprochement of cultures, which is carried out through its own scientific research and cultural education activities, as well as coordination of intellectual interaction between scientists and cultural personalities. Activities of the center are devoted to promote enrooting in public thoughts of the principles underlying the internal and foreign policy of the Republic of Kazakhstan, the mandate of UNESCO, and being the cornerstone of peaceful, equal coexistence of different communities of people despite racial, ethnic, or religious identity. Icrc is a unique platform for international cooperation focused on carrying out fundamental and applied research on the origins of ethnicities, cultures, and religions with a view to facilitating their rapprochement, as well as research on the Great Silk Road, which sheds light on complex processes of mutual influence of different civilizations and cultures, which is important for understanding the conditions for intercultural dialogue, the becoming of multicultural societies, and their identity in different parts of the world. One of the priorities of the Center's scientific activity is to study the phenomenon of the Great Silk Road. We are researching the mechanism of dialogue between cultures, the genesis of individual communication models in traditional and urban cultures. Promoting the values of intercultural dialogue for peace and sustainable development among international audiences with the goal of fostering a global conscience based on respect of universal values and preservation of cultural diversity. Implementation of activities to promote the rapprochement of cultures, forums, conferences, roundtables, public lectures, trainings, online lectures, and webinars. The Center for the Rapprochement of Cultures under the auspices of UNESCO has launched an initiative to establish the Eurasian Network of Universities for the Culture of Knowledge Without Borders under its patronage. The purpose of the network is to foster a culture of knowledge among young people, taking into account the United Nations and UNESCO agenda, and to build the inclusive knowledge societies to achieve the goals of the International Decade for the Rapprochement of Cultures. The creation of this network is particularly relevant in the context of the Ruhani Jangiri program, in which the first president of Kazakhstan proposes the idea of a cult of knowledge. The Center's activities for 2021-2022, while maintaining its fundamental conceptual framework, will be adapted to meet the new reality that is increasing the need for remote work and the digital component. The Center will facilitate the establishment and improvement of spaces for intercultural dialogue by expanding dialogue platforms of already existing online activities. The rapprochement of cultures is inextricably linked to the development of a culture of knowledge, thus fostering the building of knowledge societies, to which Icrc will contribute by relying on its own scientific capacity and collaborating with other educational, scientific, and cultural institutions. The development of learning and action programs based on UNESCO's online platform on intercultural dialogue. On the basis of these programs, courses on the rapprochement of cultures will be held for national and international audiences concerned. Among them, International Summer School for the Rapprochement of Cultures, target audience, pedagogues of higher education institutions. Training sessions for teachers on the cultural heritage of Kazakhstan and the world for school students. As President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev declared, in the era of the economy of knowledge, the role of lifelong learning is increasing. The situation in science demands special attention. Without it, we cannot provide the progress of the nation. The culture of knowledge will be the next stage in the development of the rapprochement of cultures,